Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the Jug Show. So, today we're clearly, like I said last week, we're just going to move on to the next issue of the Fantastic Four, issue 31, our third last of the current run before we do a refresh back to number one of the next Fantastic Four run with the new artist of Humberto Ramos. I am very excited about that, for starters. I mean, I've seen some of the preview panels and images. Won't lie, it looks a little bit weird, but frankly, when it comes to Humberto Ramos, he's got a very cartoony, what's the word? Like, it's a very animated art style. He's very old-fashioned cartoons. He's very free for how he does it, and I actually really like that. Like, if you've seen Strange Academy, if you read Strange Academy and looked at his artwork there, and it also has the same colorist, whose name is Edgar Delgado. So, the thing is with this work, he's definitely very good at doing the weird. Things that are beyond human. So, the fact is, being a book that does aliens and interdimensional beings, if we're going to go in that direction, which I think we are, it's going to be brilliant. And not to mention, the colorist of Edgar Delgado, his work is just gorgeous. Like, he knows exactly what colors to use in every way. And with Humberto Ramos, the fact is, these are just a few panels, and the overall quality of his work cannot be summed up in just a few probably badly chosen panels. I mean, sure, Johnny here looks like he's a full-on trucker, but, you just have to wait a bit, see what we're going to get for the full thing. I actually think he's going to do a great job. So that's just going to be my view on what's going to be coming, especially, like I said, his aliens, multidimensional beings, moloids, all that stuff, I bet is just going to look spectacular. So, going on with issue 31. Now, first read of it, I will admit, I won't say I was underwhelmed. I was just expecting a little more. Luckily, I did a second read through, and I really realized just how big it actually is. So, first of all, let's just go by page here first. Alright, so, the reason why I want to talk about the opening page is that, for starters, this isn't a Valeria narrated issue. This doesn't happen very often. When it comes to the kids, their perspectives are very underutilized. And especially in this day and age, Valeria is the one that's probably the most outspoken because of her intelligence. But that's never really been pushed. She's never had the narrative position. She rarely even has a story centered around her that doesn't involve everyone. And she's usually put to the side very soon. So this part actually got me interested, and what really got me interested is in the actual opening panel. Like, this was the first thing I noticed, that when they do this kind of intro for the Fantastic Four, focusing on the four individual members doing the rocket up to space, it usually starts with Reed. It actually usually goes a scientist, the woman he loves, a kid brother, and his best friend. That's usually how it goes. It always centers around Reed. But this time, it's centering around Sue. So it's a young woman, her kid brother, the man she loves, and his best friend. So it's putting Sue... And the thing is, with this particular run, Sue has been more central. She's the one that's been she's the one that everyone is listening to. She's the one that's in charge in this run. She's in charge of the Fantastic Four. She's the leader, not Reed in this case. And the fact that's actually resonating with Valeria, the fact that she's viewing her mother as central to the story, I really feel like that's a big deal, because the fact is, Valeria has more connections with Reed. So it would actually stand to reason that she would actually go with the older version, but she respects her mother, and she views her as the one that's in charge. She views that the Fantastic Four seems to be more her story, that she's bringing her up first. I think that's actually brilliant, and one of the great moments of just subtle writing where you actually have to think about it. And the fact is, Ryan is pushing Sue. He's pushing her powers. He's pushing her degree as an archaeologist. He's really developing her character. So this is actually a really good moment. It's subtle, but it's one that actually does mean a lot. It's something that really stuck with me. It's something I really noticed. And so he's kind of redefining the actual standing of the members of the Fantastic Four. And that's good because, well, frankly, we've had 60 years of almost the same thing. So I'm excited for this new perspective, this new thing with Susan. So yeah, let's keep going. Let's keep up that energy. And one of the things that really did thought was cool, I've been always have been wondering this since the 2-in-1 in about, oh geez, how long ago was it now? The 2-in-1 that is being mentioned here is Chip Zdarsky's particular run between Ben and Sue. Yeah, no, between Ben and Johnny. Talking about Sue way too much now. So the 2-in-1, it implied, well, not implied, it confirmed a deeper connection between the Fantastic Four. It's not only just them as a family is connected, their powers are connected. That if one loses their power, they will all their powers will slowly diminish. And one of the reasons why this probably hasn't been brought up before is because every time one of them loses their power or gets cured, it's usually through a non-permanent means, or it only lasts like not very long, and so they would never really notice. But in this case, as well as in the case of the 2-in-1, the separation and the lack of abilities that actually went for months. Like, the fact is, Ben's probably had his powers gone for months now. He's probably had, well, weeks or months. He's had it lost for an extended time period. Normally, it was probably just a couple of days. So, the fact that they're connecting this, as well as the main theme of the book, of going through all these different cosmic rays, is really implying that the rays and what they are specific to this universe, they're specific to them, and it also even somehow connects to, I feel like it somehow connects, because if you don't know this, the cosmic rays have been theorized as well. I think slightly confirmed, I think maybe in an Al Ewing book. I'm not entirely sure, I won't lie, but that the cosmic rays were kind of like they were somehow connected to the one above all. So the actual god or storyteller, as I like to talk about it, of the Marvel Universe, and how he's actually connected to the Fantastic Four. These ones are specifically for them. Hence the reason we get to this moment, right here at the end, where Ben doesn't trick, he just, well, yeah, I suppose he can consider it tricks, but he uses the cosmic rays from their universe, their point in time, to repower. I was gonna say rethink, but repower. Repower is better. and but that costs the actual Fantastic Four. Like, it costs them their powers because, like, it's a one-shot deal. He used the powers and he got the powers. They didn't. So that's actually a really interesting thing. It's not is because it feels like there's something in the cosmic rays that will only affect them one time. Like, you can't put two Ben Grimms in the cosmic rays and get the same result of both Ben Grimms. Only one of them is going to get it. It's like there's a storage thing. It's very weird to describe, and I'm looking forward to if Ryan's going to work this in the upcoming new run, or if he's going to describe it, because with a lot of the books starting to go real cosmic, specifically ones like Storm, we got the Imperial coming up, a bit of some of the stuff that's happening in Stranger's Worlds. The fact they're all expanding as well. Oh yeah, and Scarlet Witch, and connecting with like there's that whole thing with the Living Tribunal she went through, as well as Thawne and what's the fuck, the Queen of Nevers, her getting that connection, this whole avatar system that's now starting to come up a little bit more. It would make sense to start adding into the Fantastic Four, given how they've actually been connected to these cosmic abstract beings for years, especially on their grander connection that was confirmed by Al Ewing during his Defenders run that they have to the One Above All, and the One Above All also making some appearances in the current Storm book. So it feels like that the cosmos are now going up for grabs. So we're going to see. I won't lie, I'm a little bit worried about that because it seems like a couple of writers are looking at these beings as divine beings, like how you would look at gods. But I've always viewed them kind of like thought experiments. They're concepts. They're questions you would ask. They're your way of seeing things and grander ideas that you can't really describe. Like, what's the shape of the universe? And because then you get eternity. You got the powers that be, the natural order of things, and how they would look like, how would they act. And the one above all, to me, has always resided as the idea of a storyteller. But the way that Ewing seems to do it, he always goes for the big, booming, giant, golden god type of persona, despite the fact that previously he's taken more of the form of the old man, specifically Jack Kirby in that other issue of Fantastic Four written by Mark Waid. That was an absolute brilliant issue and a brilliant way to actually show the one above all. I don't like the giant golden godlike being because that's not who he is to me. He's simply a writer, and I feel like should be considered a reflection of the writer or of the story of these particular characters whose books he might be showing up in. Jack Kirby has a huge connection to the Fantastic Four. They're the restart of Marvel. He created the Fantastic Four along with Stan Lee as a collaborator. I feel if you go a full-on God look for the one above all, and don't try and symbolize maybe something to the character, maybe something from his story, maybe something from the publication history, I feel like then that's not really the one above all. That's just, and I just I feel like it's just a lazy interpretation, not only of the one above all, but God himself or herself. Like, there's so much more thinking that you can actually do for this particular being. So I'm just getting a little worried, and I really hope that if Ryan is also going to use the one above all, maybe in future, I hope he uses a little bit more imagination. So back to the issue. We're gonna take a few more steps back because now we have the whole concept of like what the Fantastic Four are connected to, as well as the importance of the rays and how unique they are to the actual Fantastic Four. In fact, it's more unique, especially going through these brilliant pages. That's just a continuation of Valeria's monologue, and we're seeing all these different variations of the Four, where there is the gender swap versions, where you got they never really gave us names, but you got a female Johnny, Reed, and Ben, while also having a male Sue. You got the shark version. I have no idea where that came from. Maybe he felt like doing sharks. I would have preferred maybe the dinosaur. Why didn't he do the dinosaur version? Oh man, right. Oh wait, no. Actually no. Why didn't he do the dinosaur version? I don't know, but he did the shark version. And if you don't know, this is going to show how old I am because there was a show I used to watch when I was a kid. It was called Street Sharks, and the theme song went right through my head. Oh, look, here, take a listen. It's actually really cool. Here's this little snippet. How cool was that? Right? Yeah. So he's having a little bit of fun, but he's also going through like just how unique this cosmic rays actually were. He even brings up the fact that the astronauts all the time are actually exposed to cosmic rays when they're on the space station, on the moon, all these type of things. It's not actually like what was supposed to sound fascinating and all this, all big and cosmic, is actually a pretty common occurrence. That actually does also makes it very fascinating. What's so special about these ones? What's so special about these four individuals and these rays? Who knows? Maybe we're going to get the answer the next one. So, like I said, there's not really much. It's not much about talking in this one. Like, this isn't going to be a long video. There are significant moments, like I said, about the cosmic rays. Um, and because we're now in fact, it's not going. We're not wrapping up yet, but this is going to be the final part to talk about because this is the final big piece. It's just the idea of how losing this cosmic rays completely upended their lives. Now, when I first read through this part, I was questioning a few things that Valeria was saying. Like, when they were starting to be faded out of time here, because of the fact that Ben stole the cosmic rays from the Fantastic Four of that particular time period, that it wasn't them, it wasn't it Ben got it, they didn't get it. So I was questioning how that affected the idea of Reed and Sue conceiving Franklin and Valeria. The fact is that even if they didn't get the powers, they still would have had kids. But what I missed, what I forgot, is the fact what they're doing with the Marvel One is actually illegal. They literally stole a rocket ship during the space race with Russia. So they committed, it was not just a felony. Like, there are a lot of things they could actually say about how that's it's not just thievery. It's not Grand Theft Rocket. They could probably a good military lawyer could probably spin this in so many different directions, and to the point they could probably even they could even call it treason. So there's a good chance that, from what we know about the next issue, as well as how this one starts with Valeria doing her internal monologue, there's a good chance that she's going to end up in a different timeline somehow. Here's my theory. She's going to end up in the different timeline, and the reason why she's the one that remembers is because she's under the protection of Doom. Like, he granted her that when she was born, when he delivered her. And I feel like now as Sorcerer Supreme, just the actual acknowledgement of that will protect her from the actual change in timeline, but it's not going to protect anyone else. So that's an actual fascinating aspect. What's going to be different? The fact is, I think she's going to find Ben, Reed, Sue, and Johnny in a prison. Not like in every other one where they're off somewhere doing something and she's going to have to question whether she should change the timeline, but they're going to be in a prison cell. So, the moments are big and they could mean a lot, but there aren't really a lot to talk about in the grand scheme of it all. The issue was definitely a lot of fun. It implies a lot of things. And it definitely, one of the things I really do enjoy is the fact that it confirms that Sue has pretty much absolute control over light itself. She can actually manipulate these light beings that Devus the Devastator is emitting. This was a really cool moment, especially considered, if you don't know this yet, I'm a massive fan of One Piece as well. So the fact that this issue with this moment came out when this scene in the anime, makes me really, really want more from Sue's light-based powers, including creating illusion and copy effects. I mean, the difference between Kizaru and Sue in this is Kizaru is actually made of light, but Sue, with the ability to manipulate light, she should be able to do something like this with the copy ability. That would be so cool. I'm really hoping for that. So, wrapping it up now. This was a very interesting issue, and I really think it's setting up more issues to talk about the cosmic rays themselves, the connection they have as a family, and just bigger things. This is the third last in this run, so we know that this is gonna so that Ryan's probably gonna go out with a bang. This is Fantastic 2. Okay, we're down to 2 now. Because then we got the 1, and then we got the 0. The next issue is going to be a Valeria-centered one, and Franklin also is going to play a part, and I have no idea how that's going to work. But I'm excited to see. This one, it got me, like, I was not on the edge of my seat, but I remember I was, like, reading the comic, and then I was just chill, then I saw what's happening, and I was like, what? So, what's going to happen next? We got this one, the next one, and the one after, and then we're doing a full refresh, and we're still in the middle of One World Under Doom. They're doing a refresh of the main characters of the book that has the biggest connection to the current event. What's going to happen there? I don't know. Let's read it and find out in the next couple of months. Looking forward to it. I hope you guys are too. And I really hope you guys had just as much fun as I did talking comics. See you guys later.